taking in some beautiful sights here in Page County, Virginia, such as the Shenandoah River. The Jeep is packed and loaded, ready to roll. We travel across the beautiful Virginia countryside to visit an alleged haunted cemetery and mausoleum that has an interesting history as well as years of neglect. We posted a brief video on our Forgotten Cemeteries series years ago about this cemetery and the sad condition it was in. It does not appear much has changed since our last visit. We have arrived at our destination, Westenberger Mausoleum and Keyser Cemetery. Our story begins of the Westenberger Mansion, formerly known as the Green Castle. Green Castle was built in the early 1800s by George Keyser for his daughter Rachel. Rachel would later marry a man named John Wesley Bell, a well-known farmer who had a cruel reputation and was known to whip, chain, and torture his slaves. In 1842, Bell was murdered by two of his slaves. Bell was struck in the back of the head by an axe. The two slaves confessed to the crime and were promptly hung. A short time after this, Rachel's grown son James committed suicide in the house, shooting himself with a shotgun. Stories of haunted activity transpired almost immediately. Accounts of James' bedroom door refused to be closed and bloodstains in the room could not be scrubbed over. During the flood of 1870, young Elizabeth Kite, daughter of Noah Kite, went missing. Her body was later found in the branches of a sycamore tree not far from Green Castle. Not long after that, 6-year-old Abigail Keyser was reportedly pulled into the river and drowned by a black hairy arm. 8 eyewitnesses testified that this was how she died, and her body was never recovered. 10 years later, Cayenne Keyser, who was 9 years old, went missing, and shortly after a search party was dispatched. Her body was found in the woods 3 miles away from Green Castle, which is odd because she seemed to have drowned. Her body had looked like it was in the water for some time. She was laid to rest in the Keyser family cemetery with her teddy bear. Then, in the late 1940s, Urban Westenberger moved to Green Castle and established a farm he called Lorelei Estates. He lived in the 2-story, 13-room mansion by himself. This only added to his reputation as an eccentric hermit. Being a brewer not only added to his drinking habits, which were quite excessive, but it made him very successful financially. So much that he could afford to build a mausoleum for his parents right beside the Keyser graveyard. Eventually, Westenberger went missing himself, although it is said he moved from Virginia to Florida. Since he lived such a secluded lifestyle along with Green Castle's troubled past, it is likely that rumors circulated that he just vanished. After he left, the house was partially burned and the lumber inside was auctioned off by the National Forest Service. The mausoleum became a spot for partying and a spot for odd rituals. It was badly vandalized, and in 1994 a body was found in a ditch. The body was identified as Westenberger's mother, which is strange for many reasons. Westenberger, who had been a young man, had moved to Green Castle in the 1940s, so at most that's a 54-year difference. Assuming Westenberger left his parents in the mausoleum, her body would have been decaying for 39 years. The ghosts reported in Keyser Cemetery are said to be restless spirits, often associated with eerie phenomena like unexplained footsteps, cold spots, and shadowy figures. Some visitors claim to have seen apparitions near the Westenberger Mausoleum, while others describe a feeling of being watched. Visitors report seeing unexplained lights around the mausoleum at night. Mysterious whispers and footsteps have been heard, even when no one is present. Some say Urban himself roams the area, restless and protective of his family's resting place. Locals claim to have seen a woman in white near the mausoleum. She appears to be mourning or searching for something. Some believe she is the spirit of Urban Westenberger's sister, who died tragically. Witnesses describe her as ethereal, with a sad expression and flowing white gown. Shadow figures of children have been witnessed in the cemetery on several occasions. A child's laughter has been heard at times times as well. The story of the Westenberger Mausoleum and Kieser Cemetery is a fascinating one. This is a location we will be providing many future updates and features on, separating fact from fiction, legend and lore from documented history, and much more. Is the cemetery and mausoleum haunted? We are going to do additional research into paranormal encounters and experiences in the area, as well as conduct a few paranormal investigations of our own. Stay tuned